Hello and good day. See, I can vary the intro just a little bit. I hope you all are doing well. Oh dear, I did relapse a bit to my days in Atlanta, didn't I? I hope nobody minds that. Welcome back to what could be quite an interesting live stream, because I am in the process of heading into the far territories. And in fact, right now I think I'm in the break room in that long tunnel that leads to the next area sort of thing. That actually went moderately well, except for the minor fact that I woke up in the morning, in-game, not in real life, to a howling blizzard outside, which does not look conducive to just idly wandering around. So hopefully the blizzard will let up and I can proceed, because of course whenever you're heading into a new area, your food and water are a bit limited, and there has been, I think, no food discovered, or very little. But fortunately I have cured meat on me, so hopefully that'll last me a day or so. Right. Let's be about it.
Too heavy.
Yeah, this was the break room. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the tunnel. I retreated here so that I could... Oh, actually I don't need that. I tell you what, oh, that's a very interesting image. I do like the fact that we can clearly hear the howling blizzard outside. Yeah. And it's coming straight at me. Let's have a wee look. Now, in principle, I'm hoping I can get down that way, because otherwise I'm going to have to dump a bunch of weight and take the climb down. But we'll certainly not going to do that in a howling blizzard, so we shall retreat indoors until such point. Good morning, Danny. How are you doing? So we shall retreat indoors to the point at which we are not absolutely freezing to death, which appears to be quite a long way. Yeah, here we go. Now we're warming up. So what do I do while I wait for the blizzard? I don't really know. I think I did check. Oh, that's always a good idea. So I ought to check and see what the status of my... I think I did this, didn't I? I got attacked by a wolf at absolute point-blank range and out of the blue, which is quite unusual. So far everything seems to be... And yes, I'm wearing my improvised insulation. Ah, and look! The crampons didn't end up in the wolf's mouth. So, all I have to do now is sort of wait. Anybody got anything they want to talk about while I wait? I'm sort of stuck in pitch darkness while I wait for everything to get better. In a place where there's literally nothing to do. I mean, I suppose I could go back upstairs and take a nap, but what time of day is it? Okay, it's still early morning, so there's the possibility that I can. What's my favourite food from the USA when I lived there? Didn't really have one. I had a couple of favourite restaurants, at least in Tucson. The Wildflower was my go-to for special meals. That was very good. McMahon's Steakhouse, I think I only managed to get there once. That was extremely good. And those are the two restaurants which stick out in my head the most. In California, there was a restaurant at one of the Champagne wineries, and I can't remember which one it was. Oh grief, I can't remember. I went there with a girlfriend once. That was fantastic. Which one was it? It wasn't. Was it? I can't remember. It might have been Veuve Clicquot. No, that was a different. That was a different one. I can't remember which champagne manufacturing winery it was, but it had a very, very good restaurant. I really liked that one. I'm trying to think. Oh, in Atlanta, there was a hotel, and I completely forget the name of the hotel. Northern Atlanta. That had a fantastic restaurant. Never had a bad experience. And I can't remember the name of it. Me and my first ex-wife went there several times, and in fact we had our our limited wedding reception there. It was really, really good restaurant. Fantastic. But like I say, I can't remember the name of the hotel, unfortunately. I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah. No. So I don't in fact, I can safely say I don't really have a favourite food per se. I tend to have favourite restaurants. I'm trying to think. My favourite restaurant, the restaurant I went to with my mother for her birthday, was superb. Called Aven, Aven, in Preston. That was really good. That was a very memorable experience. I can safely say that. Unfortunately, eating in expensive restaurants is not something I've been able to afford in many years. In Hong Kong, I don't remember having a bad experience in Hong Kong restaurants. Even the sort of cheap breakfast places that everybody used to go to were surprisingly good. And Hong Kong, of course, is a foodie's paradise. Oh, I just remembered. While I don't have a huge amount of experience of restaurants in Las Vegas, I got married in Las Vegas the second time, and we went to a French-Japanese restaurant called Japonais, and that was excellent. That was really, really good. I can't remember which hotel it was associated with, but we got married in Treasure Island in their wedding chapel, and wedding chapel sounds cheap and tawdry. No, they actually offered a very, very good service, including live streaming the wedding. I looked like a fat, overweight penguin, but my second ex-wife looked fantastic. They did a very good job there. So if you want going to Vegas and going to a reputable hotel and using their wedding chapel, Yeah, that's really a very good, viable option. Some of them are very good indeed. Just don't pick one where the wedding chapel is right off the casino floor. I don't recommend that. Treasure Island's wedding chapel, when we went there, definitely was not off the. It was on. I think it had its own separate floor, and like I say, very good indeed. Yeah, they offer the full service, including I think catering. All right. I'm just going to find a place where I can put the bedroll down and take a nap. Glad to know that the wildflower is still going. Austria. Don't think I had a bad food experience in Austria either. Even the company I worked for, they had a cafeteria, and that was remarkably good. Looks like I'm sleeping through the day. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it helps if I press the W button to go forward and not E. I can touch type on a good day with a following wind. Alright, let's see what we got. Yes, okay. Alright, what I'm going to do is drop this. Oops. Oh, I do have some food. Yeah, we'll drop that. I don't really need that. I'm going to drop that as well. Alright, let's see if we can get out of here. Let's drink some water first. And eat some food. Oh, I've only got scraps? I'll take the scraps. Alright, let's see if we can get down here. Oh, brother. Yep, I can. That's good to know. Oh, I can climb. Oh, I like it. I like that it shows his gloves. Alright, let's quickly draw the revolver. Let's see, let's map. Do a quick map. And there is a deer. Huh. So, which way are we headed? I don't exactly have a lot of choice. Anybody knows where I can stay the night? Down here. Now would be a good time to tell me. There's the rope climb. Good, I'm glad I avoided that. It's just eat some of this. All right. got a suspicion I'm going to have to take the rope climb to get out, assuming I survive that long. Oh, you know what I ought to do? I ought to... wear the crampons. There we go. And I ought to do a bit of mapping. Okay, thank you. Ah. Should have brought the... Oh, there's rabbits. And this is where I'm going to need my... Oh, it's a cave.
Something's gotta go.
Good job I have flares with me. Let's light up a flare. Which way do I go? Let's go this way first. Oh. Well, that was fortuitous, but obviously... Hello, what's this? I could... I will if I have to. Uh-huh. Ah. Well. Oh, this just gives me memories of the bear cave, doesn't it? Somebody stayed here. That was fortuitous. This is reminding me so much of the bear cave in Wintermute. It's silly. You know, the one that says, entitled What One Man Can Do. Yeah. Ooh, brother. Oh, that's the cave I was in. Okay. And this looks moderately promising. At least we have light coming in from the ceiling. I'll be honest, this is actually quite nerve-wracking. Definite flashbacks to the old bear. And well, that looks like a way out, and another flare.
if I can drop any of this gear.
Right, if anybody has any good ideas, now's a good time to tell me. Okay, so... rose hips for those awkward moments when it says you're low on vitamin C. Aha! Oh, back to the railway line. Railway lines are never bad. And that presumably is the way in. And that would be the way out. Oh. Is it? Or have I gotten completely turned around? I'm just wondering if I'm going the right way. Looks like it, to judge by the fact that there is a conveniently placed tree. Let's see what we can see. Founded track. Why do I get the feeling I just went the wrong way? Yep, wrong way. You're right, Lady Q. It does look like the game intended me to be able to climb up this way. Yeah. Hi, Fireheart. We are in the Far Territories. This is the DLC. And this is called the... what was it? The Sundered something or other. Yeah, we're technically the Far Range Branch Line. And I just wasted time going the wrong direction. What I need is a place to stay. And that's the cave system we just came through. And the good news is we have shelter here. And I have no idea where the zone of contamination is. So the simple answer to that one is I don't know. I suppose it depends what it's contaminated with. Ah, right. Transfer pass. Oh, I can just go through. Alright. How are you doing, Fireheart? I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. Oh, I do have that zoomed out. Not zoomed out, muted. That's good. Remind me not to jump off the edge. That does not look inviting. Steely chasm. Oh well. There's no point in saving my water. There's rabbits. Rabbits are always good, even if you do have to kill a disturbing number to get enough food for the day. That looks like a cave up there. Alright, so there's a cave. Well, that's enough to put the fear of the gods in you right there. Please don't tell me there's a bear wandering around here. I think a bear down here would bring this to an end quite quickly. Okay, that's good to know. And I'm gonna guess I have to go the other way for the... There's something about coming to a completely new area. If I stop talking, it generally means my levels of anxiety have gone up in the game. Because I genuinely have no idea. Wow, been a while since I saw a structure like that. Freight Hoppers Rockfall. Rockfall doesn't sound promising. Oh, to be honest, even if I wasn't fine, it might still make for entertainment. That is the best torch I have ever seen. Yes, I anticipate dying. I'll be honest, everybody who's given me advice in the game has so far not let me down. And to be honest, even if I was playing solo, I would still be going down here, so this isn't just about entertainment. Well, I suppose if I was playing solo, it would be entertainment purposes. Oh, looks like somebody had a bit of an accident. Yeah, I could actually stop here for the night, but let's see what we have ahead of us first. There's certainly plenty of wood around. And I'm carrying enough wood and coal. If I start seeing invisible footprints, as in Arid, I am going to have a heart attack. Probably a very quiet, well-mannered one. Although I might eep and wibble a bit. Ah. I see light ahead of the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, in the middle of the tunnel. I don't know. Oh, okay.
I need to drop something.
So, where I'm going to spend the night is going to be somewhat dependent on what I see up ahead. Because it is getting on, and I do not like the weather. It's a nice sheltered spot, if nothing else. Well, to be honest, it looks like somebody had a really bad series of days when the earthquakes hit. Distempered flat cars? I'm not sure that's the most appropriate name. Distemper? Distemper's a disease, isn't it? I can't remember what the modern name for distemper is. Well, if in doubt, keep following the railway tracks. Let's do a quick map here. Wish I could chat to Hinterland about some of their names. I mean, what is a distempered flat car? Or am I just so old that I make the incorrect association? Does distemper mean something else these days? Nervous as a cat with a long tail in a room full of occupied rocking chairs. Well, who is Ralph? Is Ralph? I assume Ralph is one of the developers. Loitering Marsh. Ooh, that's an interesting name. Marsh is having a bit of a reputation for if you step in the wrong place, you will end up loitering entirely too long. At this rate, I'm gonna... Oh, no, here we go. I was about to say, at this rate, I'm going to have to turn back. But we seem to have the possibility of shelter ahead.
It's dusk, so night can't be far behind.
Hello, J-Party Day. How are you doing? Oh, he's the creator. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad name. I'll be honest. It's just a little peculiar. Oh, look at this. This looks almost like a place I can stay. And we have cars. Oh, I see. Well, if nothing else, it's a place to...
What have we here?
It's a place to stay the night. I don't know if it's a safe house. It doesn't have... Oh, it does. Oh, that's different. We didn't have a transition scene, but we still have a safe house of sorts. Oh, there's a radio. I don't suppose you can do trading here, can you? Well, you could probably call up and make trades, but I'd probably still have to go back to the coastal highway, wouldn't I? So, what do I need? Well, first of all, I need to eat. It's the last of my fresh food, and my water. Oh, my water's all right. But this is definitely a place to put down a... Yeah, you're going to have to...
That'll come in handy.
I don't know about the mountaineer's hut. Okay, so got wood if I need it. What's in here? More water! Yay! He's going to complain, but that's all to the good. And we can check this out more thoroughly come morning time. Well, there you go, everybody. Completely new area. And it's probably too late for me to... Oh, it isn't. Loitering Marsh. Well, no, I don't know about the Mountaineer's hut. Where is the Mountaineer's hut? Let's see how warm this place is. It should be alright. There's no obvious holes in the structure. Nope, we're good. Oh, yep. Enough water for a while. And we have... Of course, this is the point at which the flashlight that I left behind... No, I haven't been to Timberwolf Mountain. This was convenient, so I came here. Let's have a little look outside. Those colours seem a bit more vibrant than I recall. Definitely somewhere to explore over there. Okay. Yeah, where's my... there's my bedroom. Hang on. There's my bedroom. Oh, of course I would do, wouldn't I? I half slept through the day, didn't I? Oh, if I survive this, I definitely will. I mean, this particular run, I eventually plan to go everywhere if it lasts long enough. I am so very glad they don't have the real possible mechanism of something like a wolf or a bear breaking through the door. Don't tell Ralph I said that. He might be tempted to include it. Because I'm pretty certain that's actually happened. There's a story out of Poland, 1926, I believe. And to be honest with you, I don't know how true it is. I have not been able to find any confirmation. But the story goes, back in 1926, they had a severe winter in Poland. And wolves were driven by hunger into a local town. And apparently an army reconnaissance aircraft spotted wolves in and around the houses of this little village, I should say. And by the time the army got there, so the story goes, almost everybody in the town, in the village, had lost a family member to wolves. Now, the thing is, I thought that story was true until relatively recently, but I have now not been able to find any confirmation of it whatsoever. It's not completely implausible. There have been numerous wolf attacks in Europe. But this one I've never been able to find any confirmation of. Right, now I can have a better look. Stack of papers. We check the suitcase. Look out the window. Oh, we have a fireplace. That's nice. What's outside this door? Okay. Well, this place is definitely survivable, at least in terms of shelter. Let us proceed and have a little look around. Ooh, matches. And it's cold. Let's see if there's anything around here that immediately wants to do something dramatic, like, oh, I don't know, eat my face. Although that's normally the expression they reserve for zombie games, isn't it? Is Mountain Town Milton? That one you're referring to? Oh yes, Mountain Town is this particular run started off in Milton. Very useful place to start off. Honestly, I'm not sure. Oh, it's a road. I ought to check the cars. I will do, I have no doubt. Almost had an accidental discharge. I'm sorry. I know I should know. Which one is HRV? Hush River Valley? Yeah, I don't know about that one. Bleak Inlet's not so bad. Not at this difficulty level. Can I not get up there? Ooh, maybe I should. No, don't think so. But coal's useful. I haven't been to Black Rock, but that's simply because I haven't been to Black Rock. Yeah, Bleak Inlet's alright. Getting into Bleak Inlet was a pain, but in the end it was alright. Getting out of Bleak Inlet, if you're heading back up to the ravine, that's risky. Simply because the second climb you have to make, it's highly recommended that you have a stim on you, or that you're in absolute tip-top shape, Um, the temptation to say something silly like, it's quiet, too quiet, like some bad 1940s or 1950s black and white war movie is quite overwhelming. Oh, wait a minute, I just gave in to that temptation, didn't I? Don't worry. I do plan on checking out all the cars and everything else. I'm sort of just getting a look around. Well, oh, someone left me a broken arrow. Thank you. I think. Oh, this isn't a bad spot to survey the landscape. The only downside is I do need food. Well, I don't need it right now, but I'm going to.
Someone's stash.
Oh, someone is quite keen on leaving flares hanging around.
Is it food or... All this gear is slowing me down.
No, if anybody needs a battery, there is one. Well, alright, so I'm good for food for a bit. I'm good for water for a bit. Yep. There is firewood around. I'm carrying firewood. Ooh. Let's, no more trains. Yes. Let's just drop my firewood off. Although, I'll tell you what, to be honest, if I were in a survival situation, this would probably be the last place I would be. In my somewhat limited but moderately experienced opinion, train stations tend to be the coldest places in any given region because the wind just comes howling straight down them. Where's my spare sweater? As long as I... The good news is, if I do suddenly end up in a raging blizzard, I just need to follow the railway line. What is it about this area that makes it seem thoroughly eerie? Is it simply that I haven't been here? Or is it the natural vibe of an abandoned railway station? Strangely, I have actually been to an abandoned railway station where I used to live in when I was a young man. How old was I? 16 or so, I think. There was an abandoned railway right next to where we used to live. We used to take the dogs walking there. And there was, in fact, if you went far enough down there, there was an abandoned railway station. A sort of legacy of the significant shutdown of railway systems that occurred, I think, during the 1960s. And so I didn't find that particularly creepy, but this is something creepy about it. Yeah, I think it was the 50s or 60s. I can't remember the name of the project, but the government at the time did a study and decided to shut down something like a third of the railway services in the United Kingdom, and I suspect there were halfway decent economic reasons for doing so, but it was in fact quite devastating for some areas because a lot of villages essentially got completely cut off from the rest of the country, because for a lot of people using the train system was how they got around. I think the assumption was that, oh well, if they can't use the train they'll just use cars, but car ownership in the United Kingdom, even back then, well, especially back then, wasn't as ubiquitous as it is, say, in the United States. I can't remember the name of the project. I think Ian Hislop did a documentary about it. Alright, let's I suppose the other thing that is nerve-wracking about this area is I have not seen... I'm running out of charcoal. I have not seen another animal at all. Not even rabbits, not capercaillie, I beg your pardon, ptarmigan, not deer. This is almost like a completely dead zone. Yeah, this is... This has got to be the creepiest area I've been to in the game. Either that or I'm just overly sensitive. There's a concept that would make people laugh. There's nothing in this area. Well, it's worth an explore just to say that I've been here, and then I shall move on. What a creepy, creepy place. I know I've said that before. I apologize. It's dead. Completely brown bread. Very tempting just to move on, but let's have a thorough... There are some cattails, yes, I don't really need them. A cattail showed up on the map over there. I haven't seen any sign of them. Fortunately, I have rose hips. So at times like this, I wish they had binoculars in the game. That would be handy. Oh, that's useful. Do you see what I see? It's either birch or maple. I will take either. In my left ear, I swear I can hear the ice creaking. Yeah, there's cattails there. I remember one time I made a climb in Mystery Lake. I think the only thing I got out of it was a rifle bullet, but I'm not sure about that, and a maple sapling, and I regarded the maple sapling as being worth the climb. And there's two of them! If I could get back to... Actually, I tell you what, if there's nothing here that's likely to be life-threatening, it is worth doing a thorough search for things like maple saplings, and doesn't look like there's any birch. But maple saplings are always useful. So, just remember, if the weather starts acting obstreperous, just head to my left and then turn left again for the railway station, and I should be alright. For certain values of all... Oh, there's rabbits! Okay. And there's another maple sapling. Hello, rabbits. And there's a cave. Are you sure there's nothing alive here? Because, you know, cave. Or is that a transfer point to somewhere else? Oh, there's rose hips. Oh, so because there's a cave, let's switch to the rifle. I'd mark it on the map, but strangely for me, I am completely out of charcoal. But cave means rifle. One thing I kind of wish they would do, or maybe they do and I've simply missed it, is if there's a bear around, it would leave tracks. You would kind of expect to see tracks. Thank you, Lady Q. There's no life here, but I haven't explored it very much. Except for rabbits. And 3 very hungry bears. Okay, I'm joking about the 3 very hungry bears. I hope. I am sort of half expecting to hear an irritated growl at some point. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's... I don't know about the wildlife refresh, to be honest with you. has to be said, when you see a tree like this, you do have to wonder if they stuck it there so that you've got a place to shoot bear from. Let's see if I can actually get up, see if I can take a look at the... Doesn't give me a particularly fantastic view of anything. Nice view though, I suppose. I have to wonder what happened here, that all the snow is so discoloured and what have you. Or is this simply a consequence of the fact that it's the railway station and... I don't know. Nearly went straight over the edge there. That would have been painful. And having said I wasn't going to go on the ice, look what I'm doing. To be honest, if this place has been as abandoned as long as it has, this would all have been snowed over, but I suppose from the point of view of atmosphere and to hint at past events, it's perfectly acceptable. I tell you what, the creaking ice that I can hear in my left ear is distinctly creepy. I mean, I know I've said this is a creepy area, but they certainly have gone out of their way . I tell you what would actually be even creepier, and that is if this was compatible with VR. Can you imagine playing this in VR when a bear attacks? I mean, that would be horrifying. You know, the other thing we haven't heard at all, I don't think, I haven't heard any birds. I think we did see crows flying overhead, but I haven't heard... Normally you hear birds or something, but nothing like that here. You know, I sometimes think, oh yeah, that would be fantastic. I don't see any, while Steam VR is not supported, I don't see anything that would stop it from working in VR. I mean, you know, you can pretty much look around fully. I don't know. I don't know enough about VR. I can't afford a VR headset, and it's a bit dubious about whether even the Steam VR system would work with Linux. But Yeah. The only downside, of course, oh, the only downside to playing in VR is that doesn't make much sense to live stream it because you wouldn't see that I was playing in VR. Oh yeah, you would. Yes, of course you would. You'd see the camera, but that's not really going to help with the streaming experience, I don't think. Never mind that my system would probably have a conniption fit trying to do it. Conductor's drop off. Is this where they dropped off a train conductor? Oh, grief. For half a second I thought I heard a wolf growling, but it's Mackenzie's stomach. Actually, the thing that would make it difficult in VR, now that I think about it, of course, VR has to present everything as essentially two separate screens. And it's got to manage the whole 3D type of effect. So, yeah, while in principle it looks like VR might work, I think the practice is a lot more complicated. I don't know enough about it. I only played VR once, and that was on an early prototype-ish PS4 VR system. It was awesome. I thought at the time, and I haven't really changed my mind, that VR is potentially a game changer for gaming. I think the problems with it are it's expensive. You need a pretty good system to run it properly. You've got the whole comfort issue with VR headsets, and people like me with glasses, that's a problem. Not all VR systems function with glasses. And I would hate to get a VR system and then find out that A, they don't work with glasses, and B, I can't adjust them to deal with my severe myopia. So, right. I actually... right. I actually have to take a quick break for the usual reasons. So I shall be back in about 3 minutes. Right, I'm back. Hello. Actually, it occurs to me there is another potential problem with VR, and that's like wearing these earbuds. It took me forever to get used to wearing earbuds for this. Having heavy goggles on and the straps and everything, that could get... Some people might not like that. So I am, at the moment, going to have to move on in the morning, assuming everything goes well, simply because apart from a couple of rabbits there's nothing to eat here, so I can't hunt, and the rabbits wouldn't be good for a day. And technically I ought to light a fire and make some water, but yeah, let's do that. Can I light a fire on the platform? Yes, I'm sure it will. My limited experience of it was wow. You know, it really was. Ooh, let's see if I can. Nope, I'm gonna have to use. Yeah, it's consistently around enough now that it seems reasonable the technology isn't just going to go away. Let's have a look. I do like that in this region, at least, you can go in and out of a safe house, and it's not having to do a load every time. Bit irritating that it doesn't do a separate save, but oh, good. Got some charcoal and some matches. Anybody want a dead potted plant? The other downside to the VR equipment is it's not cheap. I mean, a Steam VR system, last I checked, was nearly £1,000.
Wonder who owns this stuff.
Ooh, that's nice. I think the climbing socks are actually better than the ones I've got. Let's see. Oh, that's worth having. I thought I had the best socks, but I don't. Silly me. I mean, I understand that Apple's VR system is fantastic, but I mean, it's what, £2,500 or something? It's niche would be a polite way of putting it. Well, you know what? It's worth cooking more water and putting enough wood in for the fire to last. Hello, Chief the Deathless. How are you? Oh, and Long Dark Forever. And Molly Murder. Molly, we haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? I'm doing so well. Well enough. We have made it to the far territories. And I haven't checked the world map. Oh, here we go. So I am in this area here. Oh, thank you. Any chance you can persuade them to go over to YouTube and subscribe? I lost 2 subscribers in the last day or so, and I have no idea why. So anyway, yeah, this is where we are right now. This region here. Oh, now with a name like Forsaken Airfield, you know I've got to go there. How do I get to the Forsaken Airfield from here? Because I'm going to... Yes, if I continue, I will get into the zone of contamination. And I have no idea what's there. In fact, I got no idea what's just further down here. So I'm going to... Thank you, Molly. It's the same as my Twitch, Shards of Insanity. So this is so far an empty area, and I just spent the day walking around it, and obviously I feel like I ought to crouch in front of the fire to keep warm. Thank you, Chief the Deathless. I appreciate that. No, nothing big happened, Fireheart. We're still in the railway area, and I was getting thoroughly creeped out by the fact that there seems to be nothing alive here, and wondering where I'm going to go from here. And I'm thinking I could just follow along and go to the zone of contamination. Is there anything particularly dangerous about the zone of contamination? I have yet to walk into a fire. The damage you see, the damage you see on me is due to frostbite in Bleak and Forlorn Muskeg. I've got far too much water, but better far too much water than far too little, huh? Okay. Why shouldn't I go to the zone of contamination? I mean, never mind the name, just sounds like, don't go there.
Not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
So, I guess then the next place to go to is the Forsaken Airfield. How do I get to the Forsaken Airfield? Go to transfer pass and turn left. Seems to be a reasonable sort of guess. Or Does the cave over here lead to it?
Sunset. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
Okay. Might as well go along the railroad then. Go along the railroad, turn left. South, I suppose I should say. No, I haven't. Oh, up the road. Oh, okay, I'll go up the road. Thank you. Thank you, Molly. I know I haven't got entirely too much water on me, but I need a place where I can hunt because I've only got a bit of food left for certain values of a bit. Got too many hatchets. Oh, I see my laptop has got the time wrong again. Whenever the laptop goes into sleep mode, it takes forever for it to get the right time. I have no idea why. Oops. And now I'm quite reluctant to eat my cured meat. Right, heading up the road. What time is it? Let's see how cold it is outside. Chilly, but not too bad. For half a second I thought that was a wolf.
Looks like I made it through another night.
You did indeed, Mackenzie. Congratulations. Forsaken airfield, here we come. I guess. Looks like a nice cold day. Do I want to take anything with me? Probably ought to. I've got that. That will keep me going for a bit. I know I'm overloaded, but most of that is water. So I'll tell you what I can do, seeing as I will be coming back here at some point. Let's drop some water off. Oh, you know what? I'm going to drop the maple saplings off as well because they can cure, and that's always a useful thing to have. Yeah, I think 80 rose hips is a bit excessive. How much do my... Oh no, it's not that bad. Right. Have I got everything? I have my... Good job I checked. I nearly forgot the cooking pot. Right, let's head up the road. Which way up the road? This way? Left on the road? You mean back the way it came? This way? Of course, it depends on which left. Okay, this way. And because I'm paranoid, we'll dig out the revolver. I don't remember this taking me anywhere, but we'll try it and see. Well, there are people who would probably quite like to see me die, because I've promised that if I do die during this run, the next one I start will be in Interloper, and this is only Voyager. And I'd better eat some food. Okie dokie then. The ice creaking in my left ear is slightly disconcerting. Even more so because I've actually heard noises like that. Now, granted, it wasn't quite the same situation, but if you've ever seen a river in winter and it's cold enough, and you have ice sliding over frozen ice, that makes a very interesting sound.
This will come in handy.
Well, nothing else, I have more than enough matches. Anybody want to see if there's... Yep. Does anybody think I need 15 kilograms of car battery? If there's a reloading bench at the Forsaken Airfield, I'm going to be irritated. Yeah. I watched, I've said before, I used to watch Long Dark videos during COVID. But not subsequently. In fact, right now I'm binge watching what's it called? Tasting History?
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Forsaken Airfield. Yay. Nothing can possibly go wrong with a place named Forsaken Airfield, can it? Good to see you too, Molly. Sleep well. Well, if nothing else, I've got all day. Well, all day in game, and I'm not freezing to death yet. It did look like a fair old way on the map. Yes, Tasting History, that's the one. Yeah, I'm still going through all his stuff. It kind of depends on my mood. But Tasting History is actually kind of interesting. He seems to have done very well for himself. I think his book, Tasting History, is is or was a New York bestseller, which is very impressive. Hello, Wabbits. I sincerely hope that Max Miller doesn't eventually become the subject of one of those videos entitled The Satisfying Downfall of. I haven't seen that yet. I know Jose is his fiancée, or are they married now?
I think I can use this.
Oh, right. Good for them. Congratulations, Max and Jose. Oh, that's right. He did refer to his mother-in-law, didn't he, at one point? Yeah, so that would tend to argue that they are indeed married now. In fact, I think there's a whole bunch of content that I'm behind on at the moment. I haven't watched Drakenfell for a while. Drakenfell, in case anybody's wondering, is an Englishman who does naval history. He's quite good. He actually, yeah, I say I know him slightly. We have had some minor communication a few years ago. Very helpful gentleman he was. Who else do I sometimes watch? Forgotten Weapons with Ian McCullum. He does firearms history type stuff. He's very good. If you like firearms or history, which I do. The funny thing is, now that I think about it, I don't generally watch gaming channels unless it's history of or something like that, or this person cheated and here's how we caught him. Now, which one are you going to check out, lady? I should say my lady, shouldn't I? Well, not mine as in mine, but my lady as in the honorific. Oh, wow. Oh, please don't tell me I'm going to have to do a climb down. Oh, Lord, that does not look good. Yeah. Wow. That is something and a half. Ian McCullum, Forgotten Weapons. In fact, I stole the name from him when I did Forgotten Aviation. Forgotten Aviation's an an aviation channel. I did for a while. To be honest with you, it got a bit stressful and a lot of hard work. But yeah, I tried to think. I don't think I ever talked to Ian McCollum. The funny thing is, he used to live up the road from me in Tucson. So I missed out on an opportunity there. That might have been interesting. But yeah, so far I've not heard anything negative about Ian. He seems like a halfway decent person. Instead of the... Yeah, he does a very thoughtful channel, generally speaking. But Drakenefell is also very good if you like history. He, as I said, he does naval history up till about the end of World War II. Which way do I go? Yeah. Well, I haven't fallen yet. Famous last words. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm slightly. I don't really look at that anymore, I'm afraid. It really, in the end, got too much, and while it never quite happened with me, some of the people that get involved in aviation or military history forums can be moderately unpleasant, so...
There's got to be something useful in here.
But no, it's... That kind of channel is a huge amount of work and a huge amount of stress, surprisingly, because you have to be right. When you talk about such things, you'd better make sure you get everything perfect. Because if you get things wrong, they will jump all over you from a great height. Live streaming is much easier, albeit it has its own challenges.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Let's see, who else do I watch on a regular basis that I can recommend? In a way that's historical rather than non-political. Invictus actually is pretty good for historical stuff. Oh grief, there's a bunch of historical people who are pretty good. Is it military aviation? It's military aviation. I think it's military aviation. Is kind of interesting. He's a German gentleman who does World War II aviation in great detail. No, the Lancaster bomber was far too late for me. If I'd continued Forgotten Aviation, it would have cut off before World War II. Everybody does World War II, and when I started it, I deliberately picked World War I. And I regarded my cutting off point as being anything that saw service in World War II. Like I said, everybody does World War II. At the time, just about nobody was doing World War I and earlier. So that's what I decided I was going to take a stab at. Whoa, I do have a long way to go. But no, the Lancaster bomb has been, I won't say done to death, but no. I never even scratched the surface on World War I aviation was, I only barely scratched the surface of that. And to be honest, I say to be honest, people get very, very divisive when you start talking about aircraft or aircraft comparisons. And I only ever caught the edges of it. And yeah. One of the things you have to be extremely careful about when doing history is you owe it to yourself to be as objective as possible. And that's interesting. I learned that very early on. There's sometimes sort of three versions of a story. There's one side story, there's another side story, and then there's something which might be approaching the truth, maybe. History is very difficult. I found it's not enough to repeat the accepted story, because the accepted story is often only half the story, or it is politically biased. And so, when you go digging around, it's like, okay, what am I going to do? I have these accounts, and they're presenting a somewhat different version than you get in in books, or let alone Wikipedia. Wikipedia is useful, by the way. Just use their references, but then you look beyond that, and I remember I found there's a couple of videos I did where I determined that the accepted version of a story doesn't seem to reflect the truth. Now, I grant you, I don't necessarily know what the truth is, but sometimes the real thing is far more complicated, or sometimes quite different. I did a biography of Raymond de la Roche, and I ended up contradicting I won't say noted, but historian who wrote about her, and I ended up contradicting them because of information I found online, and it was official documentation that I found online. It was her what was it? Marriage certificate, and certain timelines which disagreed with this official historian. So I ended up going with what I thought was a closer version of the truth. Nobody ever contradicted me, fortunately, but you still have to be so extremely careful. Hang on, which way was I going? I've done that before. Come out of a car and then gone completely the wrong way. Anyway, I'm not actually saying anything particularly new, but because I think I've said all this before. Hello, rabbits. Hello, hello, hello. Why do I get the feeling this ice will crack if I go over it? That's interesting. Oh, there's still evidence that the road was here, so I guess I'm following the evidence that the road was here, yes. Let's see, who else can I recommend? Well, there have been rabbits. We've definitely had the odd rabbit. At this rate, what happened there?
Walk with this much gear.
What happened there? Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, and as you can see, I've got food, I think, maybe for another day. Yeah, I said it was creepy. I mean, to be honest, you could throw zombies in here and it would be entirely appropriate. Please don't tell Ralph I suggested that. I'm not suggesting they put zombies in this. But can you imagine a game like this, except that occasionally you come across something like a zombie? Hang on. I've come the wrong way, haven't I? I didn't open up the boot, the hood. Which way did I come? Hang on a second. This is... What just happened here? Did I just accidentally get a load? I backtracked. I didn't want to backtrack. Hang on. I was walking... Blast. Okay, anybody want to tell me which way I'm supposed... Oh no, hang on. It's this way, isn't it? I think it's this way. Oh, hope it's this way. Alright, if in doubt. Hang on. That's got me right near the... Do you know what happened? I think I just got a load. I think the game just loaded on me. No? I mean, this is... How did I manage to do that? This is... I think I got a game load. Accidentally. How? Because this is the... This is where we came from. This is the train station. Nope. I think I got a load. No? How did I? No, this is almost certainly... No! The game reloaded me back here, I think. Yeah. It just completely wiped out to the last half hour. Because I was walking down the... Yeah, no, this is... No, it just did a game load on me, I think. I am been transported back to this region. Oh, how peculiar. Alright, that's disturbing. Yeah, no. I'm going to wibble a bit, so pardon me. It somehow got me... I didn't pass any of the areas that I... Did I? Oh, never mind. Look, never mind. We will assume, for the sake of argument, that it was I who messed up. Although I don't remember going along that frozen river before. At least I'm not dead yet. Frickin' frack. Or, as I determined yesterday, my new... instead of actively swearing... crampons. There we go. That is my new way of expressing myself when I'm frustrated. Blast and crampons. Yeah, no, it, I'm pretty certain it turned me round. Because I went all the way up there, went round the cliff, and never mind. I am going to have to do this again tomorrow, and I am now actually... Yeah, I have got to get to the Forsaken airfield tomorrow in the hope that there's food there. I ought to review, if I was going to be... yeah. How weird is that? Good job I dropped off some water, isn't it? Anybody would think I was preparing for such an eventuality. Yeah. There's another word, actually, that just occurred to me, and I nearly said it instead of crampons. Caltrops. There's another word I can use to vent frustration. There you go. That's going to be my new signature sentence. Crampons and caltrops. I'm not laughing at what I just said. I'm just irritated that this... There's two possibilities. Either I got a load, which doesn't seem likely, or at some point I did genuinely get turned round, and I can't think where... I must have been when I got out of the car. Remind me tomorrow not to go into any cars. Oh. Oh, grief. Well, at least I know what I'm doing. At 9 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow morning, I will be heading back the way I came, hoping to get to the Forsaken airfield. And maybe shooting the odd rabbit along the way, because, yeah. or reasons. But unfortunately, I have now been streaming for over 2 hours, and if I stream for more than 2 hours, my brain starts to rapidly degenerate into mush. And I am, in fact, getting hungry, so I actually have to go and do something about lunch. So, anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. And as usual, if you haven't subscribed and you've been around this long, please consider doing so. Let's see if we can't grow the channel just a little bit. If for the flex, if nothing else. Hope you all have a good day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.